Long ago, in the quiet village of Nigba, the people lived in peace. They helped one another, sharing smiles and stories around crackling fires. Their huts were close together, and their lives seemed as unbreakable as the vines that climbed the tall trees. But beneath the surface, the truth was hidden. Their mouths smiled, but their hearts carried secrets. They feared that truth might destroy the harmony they pretended to have. Then one morning, when the wind blew strange and the birds forgot to sing, it appeared, a drum, not carved by any hand, nor placed by any man. It stood beneath the baobab tree, as if it had always been there. The villagers saw it, but none claimed it. It was smooth and bare, a deep circle against the red earth. The elders gathered, puzzled and whispering. Then old Mama Efua, the village herbalist, stepped forward and said, "This is the drum of truth. Beat it, and you shall speak no lie." The people laughed. They thought it a silly tale, a story to scare children into good behavior. How could a drum make them tell the truth? Yet curiosity is a flame that cannot be put out. One brave boy stepped forward and struck the drum, and suddenly he confessed to stealing a piece of yam from his mother's pot. The laughter stopped. One by one, others tried it, and one by one their secrets spilled like rain from a broken calabash, a stolen goat, a hidden love, a lie told long ago that ruined a friend. Then came Kwame, the chief's only son, proud, handsome, arrogant. He stepped forward with a smirk. He did not fear the drum, nor the truth it promised to reveal. He struck it once. His smile faded. He looked as though he had seen a ghost. "I betrayed my father," he said. "I sold our village's secrets to strangers, for gold." The air turned cold. The people gasped. Even the birds fell silent. Chief Adu, a wise and just man, stepped toward his son. His heart was heavy, yet he placed a hand on Kwame's shoulder. "Truth may wound," he said, "but it also heals. Let us begin again, with truth as our guide." From that day, the people of Nigba lived differently. Not perfect, not without pain, but honest. And as for the drum, it sank into the earth as quietly as it had come. Some say it sleeps beneath the roots of the baobab. Others say it waits for the next village that dares to hide the truth. But they thought the drum was gone, buried, forgotten. Yet truth has a way of returning, especially when lies grow like weeds in the soul. It began with whispers, a missing child, a poisoned well, a marriage torn by silent betrayal. Chief Adu grew restless. The peace he rebuilt with truth was cracking again. One night, as thunder rolled beyond the hills, Mama Efua had a dream. The drum had returned, not beneath the baobab, but in the sacred forest, where no villager dared to go. She awoke trembling. "The drum is calling," she said. "And it calls not just to speak the truth, but to test the hearts of those who claim to love it." Kwam, now humbled by his past, gathered a group. Brave, honest souls. Or so they thought. They entered the forest. With each step, the trees seemed to whisper their names. With each breath, the air thickened as if the forest knew their sins. Then, there it was, the drum, still, silent, waiting. But this time it did not ask to be beaten. It pulsed on its own, and it spoke. "You who seek truth, will you accept its cost?" A silence. Then Kwame stepped forward. "I will." The ground shook. Each person in the group was taken back, shown a vision of their deepest lie. Tears flowed. One man dropped to his knees, begging for forgiveness. A woman confessed that she once wished her sister dead. Even Mama Efua, the wise old seer, whispered the name of a child she had given up long ago. But the drum did not judge. It only echoed. Truth is not punishment. Truth is freedom. When they returned to the village, they did not speak much, but their eyes were different, clear, open, free. That season, Nigba changed. There were no more hidden sins. People asked for forgiveness and gave it freely. And the drum? It returned to silence. But not to sleep. It waits still. For the next lie, the next village, the next heart, that dares to beat in honesty. Word of the drum spread far beyond Nigba, to hills, to rivers, to kingdoms where truth was feared more than war. Some praised it, others cursed it. One such place was Obinkita, a proud village ruled by Chief Nwok, a man whose power was built not on wisdom, but on silence. He ruled with charm. He smiled with ease. But his secrets were like poison hidden in sweet palm wine. When he heard of Nigba's drum, his heart trembled, not from awe, but from fear. Still he sent word, "Bring us the drum. Let Obinkita know the truth too." But the people of Nigba knew better. Mama Ifua replied, "The drum does not go where it is called. It goes where it is needed." And that night, it vanished once more. In Obinkita, strange things began to happen. A baby born with a mark no one could explain. A shrine that burned without fire. A hunter who returned from the forest, unable to speak, only drum. Then one morning the villagers awoke to the sound. Boom, boom, boom. There it was, at the entrance of Chief Nwok's palace, the drum. But this time it came not to reveal secrets, it came to confront them. The chief laughed. "I fear no drum, let it speak." But when he struck it, nothing happened, not a sound, not a whisper. Instead, the people began to drum on the palace walls, the ground, their own chests, and slowly, one by one, voices rose. A servant confessed she had seen the chief bribe the oracle. A young warrior cried, saying he was ordered to silence a rival. Even Nwok's own brother stepped forward. He poisoned our father to take the throne. The palace shook with truth. The chief tried to run, but where could he go? Truth follows faster than footsteps, and as he fell to his knees, the drum finally spoke. Where power lies on lies, truth will rise and wash it clean. That day, Obinkita did not crown a new chief. They crowned a council of voices, of men, women, and elders. The village danced not for power, but for truth. Some say the drum only visits the wicked, but they are wrong. It visits all, the proud and the humble, the guilty and the innocent, the broken and the blind. This time the drum appeared in Ajuma, a quiet village nestled between two rivers, known for its music, its laughter, and its silence. The people of Ajuma were kind, but beneath their joy lived a secret no one dared speak. Years ago, a fire had burned through their sacred forest, and no one spoke of who caused it. It took lives, it took land, and it took trust. The elders made a vow. To protect peace, we must bury the past. And so they did, until the drum returned. It stood not in the square, not by the chief's hut, but at the edge of the burned forest. Its skin was darker now, its beat softer, almost like a whisper. Children found it first. They played with it, laughing, unaware of its power. But when one of them struck it in jest, his voice changed. My father said he lit the fire by mistake. He was trying to smoke out a snake. The other children stared. Word spread. Mothers pulled their children inside. The chief called an emergency council. They gathered that night and voted, not to confess, not to heal, but to destroy the drum. At sunrise, the warriors carried it to the river. They struck it with stones. They soaked it in water. They burned it with oil. But it would not break. Then it spoke. Truth cannot be drowned. It cannot be burned. It cannot be buried by cowards. The river rose. The trees, once blackened, began to grow again, and voices echoed in the wind. You cannot silence what is meant to set you free. Ashamed, the elders fell to their knees. The villagers wept, not from fear but from the weight they had carried for too long. One by one they came forward. They spoke, they forgave, they rebuilt. And when the forest bloomed again, so did their hearts. The drum vanished at dusk. But this time it left behind its echo, a softer beat in every heart that dares to be honest. If you enjoyed this story, hit that like button, leave a comment about what you would confess to the drum, and subscribe so you don't miss part 2.